Hi, my name is Freddie Talberg, and I'm really honoured to be presenting at this year's virtual TaaS event. Hopefully, my presentation can stir up some active discussions, and it would be great to get your feedback and questions to open up an active debate. Our work is around an innovation and enterprise-led approach to solving air pollution. My background is principally as a business founder and tech entrepreneur in the smart city arena. My last business was acquired by DPD, and since then I have established EMSOL, which is a 5-year-old business. We are a scientific, data-led business that is evolving to deliver on the mandatory climate risk requirements for every corporation with more than 250 employees. This is a major game-changing piece of disclosure legislation that is so important for our industry. I believe our climate risk data and capability will facilitate a new and wide range of urban transport options. So in terms of transport pollution, we already know poor air quality poses a significant risk to health, especially in our cities. However, the focus of the talk today that I want to cover is the impact on the bottom line for businesses with transport pollution. Historically, pollution has been cheap and may be getting much more expensive, and I suspect we're all guilty of desiring and negotiating free delivery charges. And to date, the logistics operators have just about covered themselves, but that has come at a cost to the environment. There wasn't a pollution or carbon levy or any delivery where anyone paid for the impact on the environment. And the idea that larger businesses can continue to pollute in an urban area and offset that impact by planting trees in Scotland or Wales just won't wash anymore with local residents and local authorities. Since the pandemic, the majority of our freight customers are under significant pressure from their customers for clean and zero emission delivery activity. And a lot of this was driven by how good the air quality became during the pandemic. As such, customers are demanding green options. If businesses can't deliver, they are set to lose their existing clients and on new bids. There is a growing evidence of this behaviour to switch to more sustainable providers. So failure to take action and evidence sustainability means being left behind, yet full fleet transition is not easy or quick. HGV electrification isn't a commercially viable solution anytime soon. Even by this prediction and the Innovate UK's future transport study, it is about 20 to 35% of HGVs will be EV by 2040, and the other third being hydrogen and the rest being existing sort of ICE engines. Certainly for the light commercial van sector, that is much better suited for the EV transition. Yet with 11 to 22 vans for one HGV equivalent, the additional cost of additional driver wages, more journey time, and the likely significant increase in congestion will make it harder to transition to a sustainable business model. Operators will have their challenges for sure with the availability of new vehicles, the infrastructure, finance, and customer business models. And there will be many opportunities as we get to transition to the 2040 and the 2050 targets, which will be aided by the hundreds, if not thousands, of companies that have declared their ambitions to reach net zero within their operations by 2030 and to 2040 and beyond. Today, it's hard to identify which vehicles or drivers are causing pollution. Being a ULEZ or Clean Air Zone compliant vehicle doesn't necessarily mean all is clean and emission free. So achieving Scope 1 and Scope 3 emissions reductions and sustaining these targets will require targeted data and pinpointing who and what is causing an impact. So something can be done that isn't just pure greenwashing. Corporate customers are definitely keen to move away from greenwashing campaigns with aspirational targets. Customer surveys show that just under half do not even trust claims on sustainability. So transparency and data will be vital as we go forward. For supply chain operators, there is an important requirement to protect your customer's brand reputation with the capability to evidence and to back up claims with data. I would like to share with you a video story and the results of some research that we did with the Mayor's Resilient Fund, on the Smart Mobility Challenge. This was with King's College London and Better Bankside, a business improvement district that backs up some of the evidence and innovation opportunities we have.
For the Mayor's Resilience Fund, Smart Mobility Challenge, EMSOL worked with King's College London and Better Bankside to understand how we could use data insights to reduce the number of air-polluting journeys and improve operating costs. King's College has committed to net zero emissions by 2025. This is a significant challenge, requiring action across their operations, including from transport pollution, most notably from deliveries between campuses. By augmenting delivery options with their pollution impact, King's College users will be encouraged to make choices that reduce pollution and help the college meet its net zero target. Our survey of college staff showed that users are prepared to compromise on time or cost to achieve a more sustainable service. EMSOL will use demand-side pressure to drive environmental change. By giving users more information, they can make better choices. The pollution data on each delivery option will be informed by EMSOL's first-of-a-kind local air quality monitoring that attributes pollution to vehicles, creating a highly targeted pollution data set to understand each delivery's impact.
For me, what is interesting is that I'm still not convinced that consumers will accept to pay more for green deliveries. I guess a shift away from free deliveries is one step forward to this, but certainly changes to the time and delays for collecting and receiving deliveries is an open innovation opportunity. A copy of our research report is available to download, and the link will be available. One interesting example I wanted to share with you is our current deployment for Waitrose, where the measurement of noise pollution is included as well as the air pollution. Their mix of vehicles and refrigerator trailers and their delivery activity is all part of the environmental impact for the site and their logistics operations and their local community engagement. So quiet vehicles, quiet deliveries can mitigate some of the daytime congestion challenges and provide the evidence to enable nighttime delivery operations. Which leads me to the core focus of where EMSOL can help, on measurement and management. Principally, you must probably know that what isn't measured can't be managed, and as such, we can deploy at any site, be it a construction site, operation site, or even a retail store. The scientific data associated to vehicle movements and delivery activity are a must to measure and target mitigations for Scope 1 and 3 emissions reductions. We solve this by delivering a distributed data-rich platform that is action-orientated, not just data and reports, but actual targeted data and engagement. We do this by combining our sensor deployments for noise, air quality, that includes gases, typically NO2, ozone and SO2, and the particulates, combined with real-time vehicle identification. This will enable us to validate vehicles and their delivery activity impact, giving each supply chain partner their own impact data against the local thresholds. This automated approach frees up limited site-based resources and environmental teams, as the folks responsible for the root cause of the pollution are now part of the data flow and are actively engaged to solve it. With our real-time notifications and engagement capabilities, site users can now act on the mitigations arising from these individual pollution spikes. This provides the opportunity to explain what happened and what proactive action they have taken and the new status. All these mitigations are logged and built into the evidence for continuous improvements and for the ESG and compliance disclosure, which leads to the evidence that the positive things have taken place and are possible, such as 3 consecutive days we have no pollution spikes on the site. So it's a positive impact, positive opportunities is the way we can spin and manage the data. So in summary, EMSOL works by identifying any site-based pollution breach as defined for each location and by time of day. Real-time early notifications on likely pollution breaches, identification and evolution of a mitigation plan with the on-site operatives involved, and a regular and positive endorsement of how well supply chain and sites are doing. Our corporate use case for all this is any business demanding sustainability from their supply chain. EMSOL provides the targeted data that will allow businesses to evidence reductions and to differentiate their environmental approach through real-world data and proof that they are taking action today. We are currently working with some amazing major brands and continue to seek out forward-thinking corporates and local authorities to collaborate with and to be on a shared journey to hit climate impact milestones for 2025, 2030 and beyond. We are also super excited to have recently been judged by climate impact experts for the Tech Nation's Net Zero Cohort for our innovation and our impact potential. This is a great start, but there is still a lot to do and further things to explore and evolve. So please do reach out if you can help and want to get involved. Here we have shared a few customer testimonials from various local authorities and corporate players. One interesting deployment that is worth mentioning that's not listed here that is relevant to this audience is at a mobility hub on the Isle of Dogs, which was an underused car park converted to be a consolidation and mobility hub. Here we captured the impact from all the freight consolidation activity, capturing data delivery movements associated with dark warehousing and the dark kitchens, and providing a comprehensive site-wide environmental control measure to ensure local communities are not impacted. Please feel free to reach out if you want to understand a bit more about consolidation centres and mobility hubs. This brings me to the end of my presentation, and to thank you for your time and interest in EMSOL and for us to be a contributor to this topic of enabling new transport options. In summary, where we play a key role is a scientific monitoring in real time, day in, day out, facilitating mitigation activities to prevent exceeding climate targets, and providing the evidence and the pats on the back for the good guys within the supply chain. Please do feel free to ask any questions and reach out. My contact details are here. Lastly, I'd like to share the news that EMSOL is now on the Zero crowdfunding platform. Here you can buy shares in EMSOL just starting from £10, and this buying window is now open for the next 2 weeks. Thank you so much.